Commander Lisa Bennett took a deep breath as the airlock doors opened. She stepped onto the polished floor of Harmony Station, the massive space structure that served as the meeting place for the Galactic Council. This was a historic moment. After years of distant communications, humans were finally joining the interstellar community in person. Lisa straightened her blue uniform and touched the Earth insignia on her chest for luck. Behind her, 5 other human diplomats followed closely. They all tried not to stare at the strange beings moving around the vast entrance chamber. "Welcome to Harmony, Commander Bennett," said a tall, slender alien with smooth purple skin and 4 arms. "I am Ambassador Krell Thar of the Vordari. I will guide your delegation through the introduction ceremony." Lisa nodded and shook one of the ambassador's hands. It felt cool and firm against her skin. "Thank you, Ambassador. We are honored to be here." As they walked through the station's wide corridors, Krellthar explained the basics of galactic society. Most species have evolved unique traits to survive on their home worlds. The Zentari can generate electrical fields. The Aurelia can change their skin color. My people, the Vordari, have extra limbs for climbing. But humans are different. You adapt to many environments without special traits. This makes you very interesting to us. Lisa listened carefully. She had studied alien cultures for years, but seeing them in person was overwhelming. Creatures of all shapes, sizes, and colors moved past them. Some floated instead of walking. Others had too many eyes to count. The group arrived at a large circular room with a domed ceiling. Hundreds of aliens sat in tiered seats around a central platform. This was the council chamber. "Please wait here," Krellthar said. "When the council president calls your name, step onto the platform." Lisa and her team stood nervously at the entrance. The ceremony began with speeches in various languages, all translated through small devices in their ears. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocked the chamber. The floor shook beneath Lisa's feet. Screams and shouts filled the air as smoke poured from a damaged wall. "Purity Front," someone yelled. "They're attacking the humans." Lisa barely had time to process this before 3 figures wearing black masks rushed into the room. They carried strange weapons that seemed to glow with blue energy. The attackers aimed at the human delegation. "Get down," Lisa shouted to her team. Security forces appeared, aliens with similar glowing weapons attached to their arms. These weren't just guns, they seemed to be part of their bodies. Energy beams shot across the chamber as people scrambled for cover. Lisa pulled 2 of her teammates behind a fallen table. She watched as one of the security officers, a tall reptilian alien, fired blue energy pulses from what looked like a living extension of his arm. During the fight, the reptilian officer was hit and fell near Lisa's position. His energy weapon seemed to detach from his arm and skidded across the floor, stopping just feet away from her. Without thinking, Lisa reached for it. She needed something to defend her team. "No, human, don't touch that," someone shouted. "It's a Zentari pulse arm. It will reject you." But it was too late. Lisa's fingers closed around the strange device. Instead of burning her or falling away, the weapon seemed to respond. A warm sensation spread up her arm as the device attached itself to her skin. Everyone in the room fell silent, even the attackers. They all stared at Lisa in shock. "Impossible," whispered Krellthar, who had taken cover nearby. "That weapon only bonds with Zentari biology. No other species can use it." Yet there stood Lisa, the energy arm now pulsing with blue light along her human limb. She felt a strange connection to it, as if it were communicating with her nervous system. When one of the attackers raised his weapon toward her again, Lisa instinctively pointed her arm in response. A blast of blue energy shot forth, hitting the attacker squarely in the chest. He fell backward, unconscious. The remaining attackers retreated in confusion and fear. Lisa stared at her arm in disbelief as security forces secured the area. "Get a medical team," ordered Krellthar, his 4 eyes wide with amazement. "And contact the science division immediately." We have just discovered something extraordinary about humans. Lisa opened her eyes slowly. Bright lights made her squint. She was lying on a bed in what looked like a medical room. Her right arm felt strange, warm and tingly. When she lifted it, she gasped. The Zentari energy weapon was still attached to her skin, pulsing with a soft blue glow. "Don't be alarmed," said a calm voice. Lisa turned to see Dr. Alan Price, the human medical officer from her team. Next to him stood a tall reptilian being with scales that shimmered in the light. "I am Vora, Zentari science officer," said the reptilian. "You have done something we thought impossible." Lisa tried to sit up. "What happened? Is everyone okay?" "Your team is safe," Dr. Price assured her. "The attackers were captured. But right now, everyone is more interested in what happened with you and that weapon." Vora stepped closer, examining Lisa's arm with obvious fascination. "The pulse arm is genetically locked to Zentari biology. It should reject any other species with severe burns or worse. Yet your body is adapting to it." Dr. Price showed Lisa a tablet with scanning images of her arm. "The weapon has partially fused with your nervous system, but instead of harming you, your cells are actually integrating with it." The door slid open, and a stern-looking human man entered. He had gray hair and wore a formal uniform with many badges. "Commander Bennett, I'm Director Gregory Ellis of the Galactic Council's Science Division. How are you feeling?" His voice was polite but tense. Confused, Lisa admitted, "Why did this happen to me?" Director Ellis exchanged glances with Vora. "We've been running tests. Human DNA contains unique adaptability markers we haven't seen in any other species. Your body isn't fighting the foreign technology. It's embracing it." Lisa looked at her glowing arm. "Can you remove it?" "We could try," said Dr. Price, "but we don't know what that might do to you now that the bonding has begun." Vora made a clicking sound with his tongue. "More importantly, this discovery changes everything we thought we knew about humans. If you can adapt to Zentari weapons, what else might your species adapt to?" The door opened again. A broad-shouldered man with a serious face stepped in. He wore a plain Earth uniform without many markings. "Colonel Frank Reeves, Earth military observer," he introduced himself. "I need a moment with Commander Bennett." The others left reluctantly. When they were alone, Reeves spoke in a low voice. "The Council is in chaos over this. Some see it as a breakthrough, others as a threat. The Zentari are particularly concerned since their military advantage comes from their energy arms." Lisa frowned. "I didn't ask for this." "No, but it happened. And now Earth Command needs to understand the full picture before the Council makes decisions about humanity's place here." He glanced at her arm. "Can you control it?" Lisa focused on the energy arm. She felt a connection to it, like it was waiting for commands. When she thought about activating it, the blue glow brightened. "I think so," she whispered. "It responds to my thoughts." Reeves nodded. "This could change our standing in the galaxy. I sent initial reports to Earth, but they'll want more information." Before Lisa could respond, the door opened again. Director Ellis returned with a woman Lisa didn't recognize. "Commander, this is Dr. Samantha Miller. She'll be leading the human research team to study your adaptation." Dr. Miller smiled warmly. "We've set up a testing facility. With your permission, we'd like to begin right away." "There's more," Director Ellis added. "The Council has called an emergency meeting. The Vordari, Aurelia, and 12 other species want to discuss the implications of human adaptability. And they want you there, Commander." Lisa looked down at the energy weapon that had become part of her arm. Just days ago, she was simply a diplomat representing Earth. Now she had become something else. Proof that humans were more unique than anyone had imagined. "When do we start?" she asked. "Immediately," said Ellis. "But first, you'll need protection." He gestured to the door where a lean, alert man waited. "This is Kevin Ward, Council Security. He'll be your guardian while we figure this out." Kevin nodded to Lisa. His eyes lingered on her glowing arm with a mixture of caution and curiosity. "Things are about to get complicated," Reeves muttered. "Very complicated." News about Lisa's adaptation to the Zentari energy arm spread quickly through the galaxy. In just 3 days, every major species knew about the human who could use alien weapons. Lisa found herself at the center of a political storm she never asked for. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with voices as representatives from 27 species argued about what this discovery meant. Lisa sat quietly at a special table, with Kevin Ward standing guard behind her. Director Ellis sat beside her, looking tense. "Order, please," called the council president, a tall being with smooth golden skin. "We must discuss this matter calmly." A Zentari representative stood up. "For generations, our energy arms have been uniquely ours. No other species could bond with them. Now humans show this ability. We demand to know if Earth was aware of this trait before joining the Council." Director Ellis leaned forward. "Earth had no knowledge of this adaptation ability. We are as surprised as you are." From across the chamber, Ambassador Krell of the Vordari spoke next. "Surprised, perhaps, but surely you see the advantage this gives humans. If they can adapt to Zentari weapons, what other technologies might they absorb?" Lisa noticed how Krellfar's 4 eyes never quite met anyone else's gaze. Something about the ambassador made her uneasy. A new voice joined the discussion. This came from a floating blue being surrounded by tiny lights. "The Aurelia Confederation sees great potential in human adaptability. We propose a joint research project, with willing human participants, to explore peaceful applications." The chamber erupted again in competing voices. Some species seemed excited, others frightened, and some clearly angry. Kevin leaned down to whisper in Lisa's ear. "This is going better than expected. At least no one has called for quarantining Earth yet." Lisa wasn't sure if he was joking. She glanced around the room and spotted Colonel Reeves watching from a side entrance. His face revealed nothing, but Lisa knew he was recording everything for Earth Command. Director Ellis raised his hand. "The Science Division proposes a controlled research program. A small number of human volunteers would test compatibility with various technologies, under strict oversight." Before anyone could respond, the doors burst open. A group of protesters pushed into the chamber, holding signs with anti-human messages. Their leader, a thin, gray-skinned alien, shouted over the confusion. "The Purity Front demands humans be removed from Council space. They are genetic thieves who will corrupt all species." Security officers moved quickly to remove the protesters, but their message lingered in the tense silence that followed. Lisa felt all eyes turn to her. Director Ellis nodded slightly, and she understood she was expected to speak. She stood, very aware of her glowing blue arm. "I did not choose this adaptation," she said simply. "But it happened. Humans have always been adaptable. It's how we survived on Earth. We don't want to threaten anyone. We want to understand this ability and use it responsibly." Lisa's words seemed to calm some of the representatives, but others remained suspicious. The council president called for a vote on Director Ellis's research proposal. After much debate, it was approved. Later, as Lisa and Kevin walked back to her quarters, she noticed he seemed troubled. "What's wrong?" she asked. Kevin stopped walking. "Someone leaked detailed information about your medical tests to the Vordari. Information only a few people had access to. You think we have a spy?" "I know we do," he said, "and they're targeting you specifically. The Vordari are very interested in human adaptation, more interested than they should be." Lisa looked down at her arm. The blue glow pulsed in time with her heartbeat. "What do they want with me?" "Not just you," Kevin said. "They're requesting access to Earth's genetic database. They claim it's for compatibility studies, but my sources say they're already building a laboratory on their homeworld specifically to study human adaptation." Lisa felt a chill despite the warm air. "And what about the Purity Front? Are they really just protesters?" Kevin's expression darkened. "They're more dangerous than they appear. My advice: Trust no one completely. Not the Vordari, not the Centauri, not even Director Ellis. Not even you. Lisa asked with a small smile. Kevin finally relaxed slightly. Especially not me. I'm the most suspicious one of all. As they reached her quarters, Lisa's communication device beeped. It was Dr. Miller. Commander Bennett, we're ready to begin the first official adaptation test tomorrow. The Council has approved 7 human volunteers to attempt bonding with various energy technologies. Director Ellis wants you there. Lisa ended the call and looked at Kevin. It's starting. The testing chamber gleamed with polished metal and blinking lights. 7 humans in matching gray suits stood in a row, looking nervous but determined. Lisa watched from behind a clear safety wall, alongside Dr. Miller, Director Ellis, and representatives from 5 alien species. Today we make history, Dr. Miller announced. These brave volunteers will attempt to bond with different energy technologies from across the galaxy. Lisa noticed that Selvora stood closer to the safety wall than the others, his reptilian eyes fixed intently on the humans. The Centauri scientist seemed more curious than worried. Begin with Test Group 1, Director Ellis ordered. 3 volunteers stepped forward. Each was guided to a different table where alien devices waited. These were smaller versions of energy weapons, modified to be safer for initial testing. Remember, Dr. Miller instructed, don't force anything. Just touch the device and remain calm. The first volunteer, a young man named Paul, reached for a Centauri pulse generator similar to Lisa's arm. He touched it gingerly. Nothing happened at first. Then a faint blue glow appeared where his fingers met the device. Positive response, called a technician. Adaptation beginning at 12% efficiency. The second volunteer showed no reaction to her device. The third had a mild response, but nothing significant. Interesting, murmured Selvora. The adaptation ability varies greatly between individuals. Director Ellis nodded. Continue with Test Group 2. 4 more volunteers tried different devices. Only one showed strong adaptation signs. The rest had minimal or no reaction. Dr. Miller checked her datapad. That's consistent with our prediction. About 37% of humans have the genetic markers needed for successful adaptation. A Vordari scientist leaned forward. And those who adapt, do they all adapt equally? No, Dr. Miller replied. Commander Bennett shows unusually strong compatibility. We believe stress might be a factor in activation. Lisa flexed her energy arm. Over the past week, she had gained better control of it. The weapon now responded to her thoughts, almost naturally. She could generate energy pulses of different strengths and even shake the energy to create a shield. Kevin entered the observation room and whispered something to Director Ellis. The director's face darkened. We need to pause the tests, Ellis announced suddenly. Security matter. As the room cleared, Kevin approached Lisa. We need to talk privately. They walked to a small meeting room. Colonel Reeves was already there, looking grim. We have a problem, Reeves said. Someone has been conducting unauthorized tests on humans. Kevin activated a screen on the wall. It showed images of a hidden laboratory. This facility is on the lower levels of the station. It's run by Dr. Nextol, a Vordari scientist. The images changed to show humans in clear tanks, connected to strange machines. Lisa felt sick as she recognized the energy weapons attached to them. Are they dead? Some of them, Kevin said bluntly. These were station workers who disappeared over the past month. The Vordari have been testing more dangerous energy technologies on them. How did you find this? Lisa asked. I've been investigating the information leaks, Kevin explained. It led me to Dr. Nextol. The Vordari aren't just curious about human adaptation. They're trying to weaponize it. Colonel Reeves crossed his arms. This changes Earth's position considerably. We joined the Council expecting peaceful scientific exchange. Lisa stared at the images. Does Director Ellis know about this? Kevin and Reeves exchanged glances. That's the other problem. Kevin said. We found communications between Ellis and the Vordari. He's been giving them data on human genetics. Lisa felt the energy in her arm pulse with her rising anger. We need to stop this and help those people. We need to be careful, Reeves warned. The Vordari are powerful in the council. We need proof of their illegal experiments before we act. Then let's get proof, Lisa said firmly. Kevin, can you get us into that facility? Kevin nodded. Yes, but it's dangerous. The security systems are designed to kill intruders. Lisa looked down at her energy arm, now glowing brighter with her emotions. I'm not exactly defenseless anymore. And those humans need our help. Reeves studied her for a moment, then nodded. Tonight, then, I'll arrange a distraction to clear the security patrols from that section. As they planned their mission, Lisa couldn't help wondering how many other secret experiments were happening across the station. The thought of humans being used as test subjects made her energy arm pulse with blue fire. One more thing, Kevin said. Dr. Miller found something in your latest scans. Your adaptation is still progressing. The energy arm is becoming more integrated with your nervous system. What does that mean? Lisa asked. They don't know yet, Kevin admitted. But you're changing, Lisa. More than anyone expected. The service corridors of Harmony Station were dimly lit and eerily quiet. Lisa, Kevin, and Colonel Reeves moved silently, following a map on Kevin's small screen. They wore dark clothes to blend with the shadows. The secret lab should be 2 levels down, Kevin whispered. Reeves' distraction will start in 5 minutes. Lisa felt her heart pounding. Her energy arm glowed faintly, responding to her nervous state. She had practiced controlling it over the past days, learning to dim its light when needed. Remember, Reeves said softly, our goal is to gather evidence and free any surviving test subjects. No confrontations unless absolutely necessary. They reached a service elevator and descended 2 levels. The doors opened to reveal an unmarked corridor that wasn't on any official station map. This is it, Kevin murmured. The security system will be active. Lisa, can you use your arm to disrupt the sensors? Lisa nodded and focused. The energy in her arm shifted, sending out a pulse that temporarily disabled nearby electronics. They slipped past the first security checkpoint undetected. Deeper in the hidden section, they found a locked door with Vordari markings. Kevin placed a small device on the control panel, and the door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside was a nightmare. The laboratory contained 6 transparent tanks. 4 held humans floating in clear liquid, with energy devices attached to their limbs. 2 tanks were empty but showed signs of recent use. Machines beeped and hummed around the room. This is worse than we thought, Reeves said grimly. Lisa approached one tank. The man inside was barely conscious, his arm partially fused with a pulsing red device that looked nothing like Lisa's blue Centauri weapon. These aren't Centauri arms, she realized. The Vordari are creating their own energy weapons specifically for human use. Kevin moved to a computer terminal. I'm downloading their research data. We need to hurry. Lisa examined the tanks, looking for a way to free the test subjects. She found a control panel and prepared to deactivate the system. Stop right there, came a voice from behind them. They turned to see Director Ellis standing in the doorway, a standard laser pistol in his hand. 2 Vordari guards flanked him. I'm disappointed, Commander Bennett, Ellis said. You could have been part of something revolutionary. Lisa's arm pulsed with angry blue light. By experimenting on innocent people, how could you betray humanity like this? Ellis shook his head. Betray? I'm securing humanity's future. The Vordari offered us advanced technology in exchange for human genetic samples. Technology Earth desperately needs to protect itself in this galaxy. By turning humans into weapons, Reeves demanded. By giving us an edge, Ellis insisted. Every species here has advantages we lack. This adaptation ability levels the playing field. One of the Vordari guards stepped forward. His faceplate slid back to reveal Dr. Nextool. The director is correct, the Vordari scientists said. We've created energy arms specifically designed for human nervous systems. The next generation of these weapons will make human soldiers unstoppable and obedient, Kevin added, his eyes on the computer screen. According to these files, your weapons include control circuits. The users can't disobey commands from Vordari signals. Lisa felt sick. You're not creating soldiers. You're making slaves. Ellis waved his pistol. It's more complicated than that. The galaxy is dangerous. Earth needs allies and advantages. Before anyone could respond, an explosion rocked the station. Alarms began blaring throughout the corridors. That wasn't my distraction, Reeves said, confused. The room's main screen activated automatically. It showed the council chamber under attack. Figures in black uniforms were firing energy weapons at representatives. The Purity Front, Kevin recognized. They're attacking the council directly. In the chaos, Dr. Nextol grabbed for Lisa's arm. She reacted instinctively, her energy weapon flaring. The Vordari scientist flew backward, crashing into equipment. Ellis aimed his pistol at Lisa, but Reeves moved faster. The two men struggled, and in the fight, the pistol fired. Ellis fell, clutching his chest. As he lay dying, Ellis looked up at Lisa. They already have what they need. Human genetic codes. They're building weapons that will control any human who uses them. You have to. His voice faded as his eyes went dark. We need to help those people and get out of here, Kevin said urgently, pointing to the tanks. As alarms continued to sound and the station shook with more explosions, Lisa faced a terrible choice. Stay to free the test subjects or rush to help the council under attack. Lisa made her decision quickly. Reeves, go help the council. Kevin, and I will free these people. Reeves nodded and rushed out. Lisa turned to the tanks, studying the control panel. I think I can release them, but they'll need medical help, she said. Kevin was still downloading data from the Vordari computer. Almost done. This evidence will prove what the Vordari were planning. Lisa pressed several buttons on the control panel. The liquid in the tanks began to drain. As she worked to open the tanks, she felt a strange sensation in her energy arm. The blue glow flickered and then grew brighter. Something's happening, she said to Kevin. He looked up from the computer. What's wrong? I don't know. It feels like. Lisa paused as she realized what was happening. The arm is responding to these other weapons, like it's trying to connect with them. Lisa reached toward one of the tanks as it opened. The man inside fell forward weakly. The red energy weapon attached to his arm pulsed in rhythm with Lisa's blue one. Help me get them out, she told Kevin. Together, they freed all 4 test subjects. The victims were alive but barely conscious. Their energy arms seemed unstable, flickering between bright and dim. We need to move quickly, Kevin said, checking his screen. Security will be here soon. Suddenly, Lisa had an idea. She placed her blue energy arm near the red one attached to the first victim. Concentrating hard, she felt a connection form between them. The unstable red glow steadied, matching the rhythm of her blue pulses. I can stabilize their adaptations, she realized. My arm is somehow communicating with theirs. One by one, Lisa connected with each test subject's energy arm, helping to stabilize them. As she did, she felt something new, a kind of mental link forming between them all. They're scared and confused, she told Kevin. I can feel it through the connection. Can you help them disconnect from the weapons? Kevin asked. Lisa focused, trying to understand the technology through her own adaptation. No, these Vordari weapons are different. They're designed to bind permanently. An alarm sounded in the corridor outside. Kevin checked his device. We've got company coming. We need to move now. They helped the weakened test subjects to their feet. One of them, a woman with short brown hair, seemed more alert than the others. I'm Olivia, she said in a hoarse voice. I'm a mechanic on level 7. They took us while we were working. We're getting you out of here, Lisa promised. Can you walk? Olivia nodded, though she looked unsteady. The other 3 test subjects were in worse shape, barely able to stand without help. There's an emergency shuttle docked 2 levels down, Kevin said. If we can reach it, we might escape the station. As they moved toward the exit, the laboratory door slid open. Dr. Nextol stood there, his Vordari body now encased in a mechanical suit with multiple energy weapons extending from it. You cannot leave with my test subjects, he said coldly. The adaptation process is not complete. Lisa stepped forward, placing herself between the Vordari scientist and the others. Her energy arm glowed fiercely. They're not your test subjects. They're people, she said. Dr. Nextol raised one of his mechanical arms. The Vordari have studied human genetics extensively. Your adaptation ability is remarkable, but it can be controlled. Observe. He pressed a button on his suit. Immediately, the red energy arms on the test subjects began to pulse painfully. Olivia and the others cried out, their arms moving against their will. Stop it, Lisa demanded. These weapons respond to Vordari command frequencies, Dr. Nextol explained. Unlike your Zentari arm, these are designed for obedience, not partnership. Lisa felt rage building inside her. The blue energy in her arm expanded, spreading up to her shoulder. Without thinking about how, she projected a shield of blue energy that surrounded her and the others. Kevin, take them and go, she ordered. I'll hold him off. Kevin hesitated. I'm not leaving you. You have to get them to safety and find Reeves. The evidence you downloaded is more important than any of us. Kevin looked at her for a long moment, then nodded. Be careful, he said, his voice tight with emotion. He guided the test subjects toward a side exit. Lisa turned back to face Dr. Nextol. Her entire arm now blazed with blue fire. Let's see if your Vordari commands work on Zentari technology, she said, advancing toward him. Dr. Nextol fired an energy blast from his mechanical suit. Lisa raised her arm instinctively, forming a shield that absorbed the attack. The force pushed her back several steps, but she remained standing. Impressive, the Vordari scientist said. Your adaptation has progressed further than our calculations predicted. Lisa didn't wait for him to attack again. She pushed forward, sending a wave of blue energy toward him. Dr. Nextol dodged, but not quickly enough. The energy clipped his suit, damaging one of its mechanical arms. You cannot win, he told her. The Vordari have studied human adaptation for months. We know its limits. Lisa circled the laboratory, keeping distance between them. Why are you doing this? Why target humans? Because you are perfect vessels, he explained while adjusting his damaged suit. Your bodies adapt instead of reject. The Zentari discovered this by accident with you, but we have known the potential for much longer. Another blast from his suit forced Lisa to dive behind a row of equipment. The lab was filling with smoke from damaged machines. The Purity Front, Lisa said, realization dawning. They're working for you, aren't they? Dr. Nextol laughed. They are useful pawns. Their attacks provide cover for our work and turn other species against humans. Fear is a powerful tool. Lisa felt her energy arm pulsing stronger. Each time she used it, the connection deepened. She was beginning to understand the weapon not as a separate thing, but as an extension of herself. The station rocked with another explosion. Alarms blared throughout the corridors. Lisa knew she needed to end this quickly and find Kevin and the others. She stepped out from her cover, focusing all her concentration on her arm. The blue energy expanded, covering her entire body in a glowing shield. Dr. Nextol fired repeatedly, but his attacks couldn't penetrate her shield. Lisa walked forward steadily, absorbing each blast and growing stronger. This is impossible, the Vordari scientist said, backing away. The energy should be overwhelming your nervous system. You don't understand humans at all, Lisa replied. We don't just adapt to survive. We evolve to thrive. With a final surge of will, Lisa pushed all the absorbed energy outward in a massive wave. It hit Dr. Nextol's suit with devastating force, sending him crashing into the far wall. His mechanical arms sparked and failed. Lisa approached the fallen scientist cautiously. He was still alive, but his suit was destroyed. "It's over," she told him. "No," he wheezed through his damaged faceplate. "It has only begun. There are more laboratories, more test subjects. The Vordari High Command has already approved full production of human-compatible weapons." Lisa grabbed the front of his suit. Where are the other labs?" Before he could answer, the laboratory door burst open. Lisa spun around, ready to fight again. But instead of Vordari guards, she saw Kevin and Colonel Reeves. Both looked beaten and bloodied. "We need to go," Reeves said urgently. "The station is falling apart." The Purity Front attacked the main reactor. "The test subjects?" Lisa asked. "Safe on an escape shuttle," Kevin assured her. "But we can't stay here." Lisa gestured to the fallen Vordari. "He says there are more labs, more humans being experimented on." Reeves nodded grimly. "He's right. We found data showing at least 3 Vordari research facilities on frontier worlds. They'd been collecting humans for months." Another explosion shook the station, larger than before. Warning lights flashed as the artificial gravity flickered. "Harmony Station is dying," Kevin said. "We have maybe 20 minutes to evacuate." Lisa looked down at Dr. Nextol. "You're coming with us. You'll face justice for what you've done." The Vordari scientist laughed weakly. "Justice? Your species is so naive. This is about survival. The Vordari saw your potential before anyone else. That's all." As they dragged him from the laboratory, Lisa noticed something strange. Her energy arm was changing. The blue glow had spread further, reaching her shoulder and chest, and for the first time since bonding with it, she felt she could separate from it if she chose to. "Something's happening to me," she told Kevin as they hurried through the corridor. "The adaptation is accelerating." Kevin looked concerned but kept moving. Dr. Miller theorized this might happen under extreme stress. "Your body is fully integrating with the technology." "And that's good?" Lisa asked. "It's unprecedented," Reeves cut in. "But right now, let's focus on staying alive. Questions come later." As they reached the evacuation area, Lisa saw dozens of species rushing to escape shuttles. The peaceful Harmony Station had become a scene of panic and fear, and somewhere out there, more humans were being transformed into weapons. 3 weeks after the destruction of Harmony Station, Lisa sat in a meeting room on the Earthship Defender. Around the table were Colonel Reeves, Kevin, Dr. Miller, and representatives from 17 alien species. They had gathered on this neutral vessel to decide what happened next. "The evidence is clear," Reeves was saying. "The Vordari conducted illegal experiments on humans. They created the Purity Front as a distraction, and they planned to use adapted humans as controlled weapons." The Zentari representative, Exelvora, nodded his scaled head. "We have confirmed 3 Vordari research facilities on frontier worlds. Our scouts report they contain at least 40 human test subjects." "And Dr. Nextol?" asked a Blue Aurelia diplomat. "In custody," Kevin replied. "But he refuses to provide access codes to the Vordari weapon systems. The human test subjects we rescued are still permanently bonded to their energy arms." Lisa looked down at her own arm. The blue energy now flowed smoothly across her entire upper body like a second skin. She had learned to control it completely, making it visible or invisible at will. Dr. Miller touched her screen, showing medical scans. "Commander Bennett's adaptation has reached a new stage. The energy has fully integrated with her nervous system, creating a symbiotic relationship. Most importantly, she can now disconnect from the energy arm when she chooses." This news caused excited murmurs around the table. No other species had achieved such control over energy technology. "The Vordari High Command denies involvement," said a tall, feathered representative. "They claim Dr. Nextool acted alone." "That's a lie," Lisa stated firmly. I saw the authorization codes myself. This was a planned military program. The mood in the room darkened. If the Vordari, one of the largest powers in the galaxy, had truly planned to create controlled human weapons, war might be inevitable. There is another option, suggested the Aurelia diplomat. Her name was Ela Moore, and she represented a coalition of smaller species. We could rescue the remaining human test subjects and then focus on helping them, rather than punishing the Vordari. And let them get away with this? Reeves asked angrily. Ela Moore's skin rippled with blue lights. Justice is important, but those humans need help now. Commander Bennett has shown that full integration might allow them to control their adaptations, perhaps even disconnect eventually. Lisa stood up, drawing everyone's attention. The blue energy flickered across her skin. I believe I can help them, she said. When I connected with the test subjects we rescued, I could feel their adaptations. I might be able to guide them toward full integration. Dr. Miller looked thoughtful. A mentor program, using the first successful adapter to help others. It could work. What about the Vordari? Kevin asked. And the Purity Front remnants. They're still out there, still a threat. We face them together, Lisa said simply, not as humans alone, but with our allies. She gestured to Selvora and Ela Moore. The Zentari understand energy technology better than anyone. The Aurelia excel at healing and diplomacy. Together, we can rescue those humans and find a path forward. The meeting continued for hours as they formed a plan. 2 ships would go to each Vordari facility, staffed by mixed species teams. Lisa would lead the largest mission. Later, as the representatives filed out, Kevin stayed behind with Lisa. Are you sure about this? He asked. Leading the rescue mission will put you in danger. Lisa allowed the blue energy to flow down her arm, forming a small sphere in her palm. I'm the only one who can help those people understand what's happening to them. I have to try. Kevin nodded and held out his hand. To everyone's surprise, a faint red glow had begun to appear on his skin, where he had been injured during their escape. Dr. Miller confirmed it yesterday, he said quietly. I'm adapting too, just more slowly. Something about our close contact with multiple energy types triggered latent genes. Lisa touched his hand, their energies connecting in a beautiful purple light. We're evolving, she said, not just adapting to use the weapons, but changing them, improving them. That's the real human advantage. As they looked out the viewport of the stars, Lisa knew this was just the beginning. Humans weren't the strongest or fastest species in the galaxy. They didn't have natural weapons or extraordinary senses. What they had was something more powerful, the ability to change, to grow, to make foreign things part of themselves. And in a vast, dangerous universe, that might be the greatest strength of all.